Google Plus Hangouts are one of the most exciting features of Google Plus. Basically, they're multi-person video chats. Up to 10 people can all chat at one time over video conference. And at first, we just built this as a way for people to connect with their friends. Everyone in the Hangout was just talking to someone else. Whoever is speaking, they are automatically prioritized to the top of the Hangout, so that person's face is the one everyone is looking at. But we began to realize very quickly that, in fact, broadcasting the Hangouts to a public audience, in other words, live streaming the Hangout, was something that made a ton of sense for media partners. So we launched a few months back Hangouts On Air, and that is essentially a live-streamed Hangout. News publishers have instantly picked this up as a great way to hold conversations around timely news topics. It's a great way for publishers who, don't have their own TV station or their own live programming to use this free platform that's just perfect for dialogue and discussion to stay on top of the news and to discuss important topics as they arise. Most news organizations, when they use Hangouts, will pre-vet their participants. So they may do a call-out on their Google Plus page inviting people to join a Hangout. People will maybe make a comment underneath that post and say why they think they should join. Some news organizations will literally call these people and discuss the topic with them over the phone first. Others will connect with them over a test Hangout before launching the main Hangout. But we've actually launched a new feature that makes all of this a lot more easier, and it's called the Cameraman application. And essentially, the Cameraman application allows you to pre-vet participants in a Hangout before shifting them to the live stage. So a participant will show up, they'll be sort of grayed out, so they won't be live on the actual on-air Hangout. You can ask them a few clarifying questions, get a sense for who they are, and then push live for them to be pushed into the live on-air Hangout. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible, as lightweight as possible for publishers to be able to use Hangouts to start conversations, not just amongst themselves, but with their readers and their viewers as well. Up until just last week, you couldn't join a Hangout on Air from your mobile phone. And clearly, there's a great use case here for news partners. I mean, in the same way that YouTube allows your mobile phone to be a video recorder of a breaking news event, Hangouts could simply be the live version of that, right? So starting last week, you can, as a user, join a Hangout on Air from your mobile phone, which means you can be broadcasting a live event from the scene of any event that you're at, whether it be a news event or a moment in pop culture, and that view that you are broadcasting from your mobile phone will head straight to the Hangout on Air that a publisher has started. So it's a great way to kind of create citizen correspondence in a very live context to capture the news and engage your audience in a really deep way. Soon we'll want to make it so that you could actually start a Hangout on Air from your mobile phone, such that if you're at the scene of a breaking news event and you pull out your phone and you start recording it on a Google Plus Hangout, you can instantly alert your local news station that you're there and that you're streaming the coverage live from the scene of that event. I think that in the same way that YouTube allowed for you to capture an event in time on camera and then upload it to YouTube and share it with the world, Google Hangouts could come to a place where they allow you to capture live the scene of a major breaking event and share it with the world instantly, as opposed to having to wait to upload and then rebroadcast it on YouTube. So live is always better. We live in a real-time world, and Hangouts is really the first real-time social platform out there today for video, really create an exciting opportunity for live coverage of events. Well, the great thing about Hangouts is they're absolutely free, as are Hangouts on Air. So you can live stream them to your YouTube channel, you can host them on your Google Plus page, 100% free, doesn't cost a cent. When it comes to monetization, we're still working on our monetization thoughts around Google Plus. We don't have monetization built into the platform right now. We do have Google Plus monetization on ads, so you can now +1 an advertisement across Google, and we've seen a huge uptick in our interaction with ads because of that. But Hangouts themselves are free, easy to use, and we want to keep it that way. We're really excited about our partnership with the Huffington Post. They just launched Huffington Post Live earlier this week, and they're relying heavily on Hangouts to connect with their readers directly in the show. So the way that the Huffington Post is doing this is they're streaming all day live from the Huffington Post's live studio. They'll kick to a Hangout periodically throughout the day to get viewer comments. They're actually having people, through the application next to the Hangout, submit video auditions, so to speak. You essentially can lean into your webcam and say why you should get to join the Hangout. They're then screening those auditions in a video form and then choosing the participants to actually join the Hangout. It's a really fascinating experiment. We're excited to see them using it, and we'll see where it goes. We just launched a partnership with the NFL. One of the things about Hangouts is they're a great way to just stay in touch with friends, right? People that don't live near you that you would love to see face-to-face more often. Fantasy football, when you think about it, is sort of the original social network. A lot of people say it was the first time in which great distance was overcome through technology to connect people around a topic they all care about. For fantasy football, Hangouts are a natural fit. When you do your fantasy football draft, oftentimes people are using conference calls, or they're trying to figure out ways to connect as they pick their players because they're not always at the same location. We've now integrated Hangouts into NFL.com/fantasy so that you can do your fantasy draft over Hangout. You can click a button right from the fantasy application and start right there. So it's a great way to, I think, very naturally use Hangouts for inherently social activity real time and make that so much more engaging. We have a partnership with CBS Face the Nation, great Sunday morning political talk show, 1 hour long. What they'll do is every Friday they'll do a hangout with a select number of guests on a particular topic, whether it's where the religious vote is heading or how the Latino vote will shape up in this election, or the youth vote, for example. They'll bring together a collection of experts on that topic. They'll hold like a 40 or 45-minute deep and robust discussion on the topic that's live on their site and live on Google Plus as well. Then they'll cut like a 4-minute clip of that, sort of the greatest hits of the conversation, and they'll rebroadcast that on the Sunday morning show to give you a sense of kind of the highlights. So, you know, a 45-minute conversation takes a long time to watch, but a short edited version of it can be really compelling and can be conveyed, you know, much more quickly, obviously. So we're seeing a lot of broadcasters move to that model where they'll use the Hangout on air on web as a lengthier discussion, and they'll bring a piece of that discussion to broadcast to hit a wider audience with the most salient points.